So with this about increasing the fiber content, what is the aim behind doing that? What is the goal of that?
From a more overall perspective, what the consumer is expecting, what legislation is expecting from us right now is to remove plastics from the entire packaging industry. I mean, plastic is not seen as a good thing, basically. And if we can contribute to lowering the levels of plastic, that makes it easier to recycle, for example. And we also, of course, diminish the amounts of oil being used in producing a package, since some part of the plastic still is of course fossil.
So Eva, can you then replace the plastic and the aluminium in today's carton package with wood fiber?
We cannot do it today, but of course that's where we are driving the innovation, and that is also where we are working together. Because what we want to do from innovation side is to find ways of, as I said before, we have already 70% around like that, something with fiber, that is fiber today, renewable, recyclable, very good start. But the other materials like plastic and aluminium foil, what we would like to do is to innovate new materials, to find new materials that can replace maybe not all of our plastic, but some plastic, and that can also replace the aluminium. That is really the essence of our innovation towards sustainability.
And could you just give us a flavour of the sort of technical challenges you'll have to solve in order to do that?
Aluminium is a very good barrier, as taking one example. It's a very good barrier to oxygen and to moisture and to a lot of other things that you really would like to protect the product from. You don't want to have oxygen into the product, because then you destroy if you have vitamin C or other nutritionals. So if you're going to develop another material instead of aluminium foil, it needs to be a very good barrier. So to find those materials that can give a good barrier and still be based on fiber, that is a real challenge.
Marlin, so the 70% of the package, which is then paperboard, which comes from you guys, what's the kind of the background of that? Where does that come from?
We have most of our production in the Nordics, and we source, of course, as close as possible to our mills, because that's both most sustainable, of course, but also most efficient to do it like that. So most of our raw material comes from sustainably managed forests in the Nordics, and that's it. And we have the long, strong fibers from trees that grows pretty slowly in the cold weather in the Nordics. So that makes it very suitable for carton packages, which need that strength and lightness in the finished carton.
So if the carton package is today already quite a sustainable solution compared to some alternatives, what's the next step? How can it become more sustainable?
What we want to do with our package in the future is to secure that we simplify the packaging material structure, so we use fewer amount of materials. So that is one thing, and the other one is, of course, then also to secure that we go beyond the 70%, so that we increase the percentage of fiber in our packages. And that is, of course, is what we want to work with our paperboard suppliers on, to secure that we find and innovate new materials that comes actually from cellulose and comes from trees.
So Marlin, to what extent is legislation a driver behind innovation?
To quite a large extent, both when it comes to climate and the development we see there, and also on the side of circular economy, where the Single-Use Plastics Directive on EU level is, for example, one of the drivers to where we see that the packaging industry, for example, needs to adapt. And with the Single-Use Plastics Directive, we saw bans of some plastic products like cutlery and plates and also plastic straws. But we also see a big movement towards increasing recycling and recyclability driven by these legislations.
So Eva, how does the single-use legislation affect Tetra Pak?
To mention one example, the plastic straws in Europe will be banned from mid next year, so mid 2021. And to be able to meet that and still give our customers and our consumers the opportunity to have a package with a straw, we have developed a paper straw to replace the plastic straws in Europe, at least as a first step. So that is one innovation that we are now rolling out.
So in the innovation collaborations that you have ongoing, what other sort of actors do you have involved apart from other industrial companies?
We are also working together with universities, of course, and research institutes. And just one example, a couple of months ago, we signed with Lund University to be a strategic partnership for us, and sustainability is one of the focus areas here. And we are together with BillerudKorsnäs in the tree search collaboration, which is also important for us.
Can you tell us a bit about that, Malin? Tree search, what's that about?
Yeah, it's actually it's a really nice collaboration where we have a national platform for research on new materials from the forest, basically. And we see that this is important both, of course, because we can get advanced research on new materials to find new applications and new basic. We need basic research to find new applications, but also because we have an opportunity to build competence with skilled people coming into the industry and working to develop more innovative products in the future.
So with this kind of research, how can a company then like Tetra Pak then apply that research at the next step?
It's very important we work together with our both specialities, so to say, when it comes to universities and companies. Universities are very good in fundamental research, and if you're going to work with new sustainable materials and try to understand them, it's critical to, in parallel, build the basic knowledge, basic understanding and fundamentals of these new materials. At the same time, you need to have the application knowledge, which we then in Tetra Pak, as an example, and BillerudKorsnäs as well, can provide to understand what is important of these new materials to be able to fulfill the function in these new packaging materials and new packages.
So Eva, so Tetra Pak I know invests a lot of money into research and development of the packages of the future, but what is it that you're ultimately aiming towards? What is it you're trying to achieve?
When it comes to sustainability, we want to offer the world's most sustainable food package. And that means that we want a package that is 100% from renewable resources, and it's or recycled resources, and it's also fully recyclable, and it contributes to a low carbon economy. So this is how we see our future carton package to be able to really stay competitive for the long future.
And for you, Marlins, for then this 70% of the carton package, which currently does come from renewable trees, what is it that you're aiming towards in your ambitions when it comes to sustainability?
Our mission is to challenge conventional packaging for a sustainable future. It's built into our purpose of the company. But when it comes to areas where we really need to succeed within sustainability to achieve our goal, I would say that climate is one, to make sure that we have the best product from a climate perspective, low carbon perspective, and also an area which we used to call materials for the future. We need to make sure that we can provide the best solution for our customers to replace plastics, but also to fit into the demands that both legislators and consumers have on a packaging for the future.
So Eva and Malin, thanks so much for joining us, and we hope that your collaboration continues to be productive. And thank you very much for joining us.